Well, good morning and welcome to Saturday Morning Coaches Show. Caught me taking a sip of coffee there. And it's a busy show for you today. Clarkson Paleta is here right now. Alexi Upton in the wings with three of his players. See Kevin Yanez, Noe Ponce, and Omar Hernandez are with Alexi. They'll be on later, and then Coach Tisdale, Brittany Tisdale, will be here closer to the bottom of the hour to talk about Lady Cats basketball as they won last night and earned a playoff spot. So we'll be talking about all that. Real quickly and other things, it's hard to be quick anymore. There's 13 teams now, so a lot to talk about. Lady Cat Soccer won at the Prim last night over Lindale 4-0, and they will play at Mount Pleasant on Tuesday and at Texas High on Friday. Wildcats baseball has two scrimmages this week. They haven't been successful in getting one in so far, but they plan to go to Hallsville on Monday and then host North Lamar on Friday. Lady Cat softball, their own Lady Cat softball tournament coming up Thursday through Saturday this week, and so they will be opening the season in that tournament. Powerlifting, they lifted on Thursday. We talked to Coach Jeter yesterday, and Paris officials had not mailed him the results, so he will be giving the results of that as soon as we can get them. And this week there is a lift in Commerce. The girls will be lifting on Friday and the guys on Saturday. Wildcats golf and Lady Cats golf will both be taking part in a regional course preview at Rockwall Golf and Athletic Club, and it's unusual, very similar to like a district or a regional tournament. It's 2 days. It'll be Monday and Tuesday over in Rockwall for both Wildcats and Lady Cats golf. Wildcat tennis played at a Tyler Lee tournament on Friday, and they'll be at a John Tyler tournament this Friday. So a couple of trips to Tyler to play some good folks for Tony Martinez and his Wildcats tennis team. And finally, yes, track will be gearing up this week at a try meet, and I'm not sure who the tries are. I'm not sure, other than Lindale and also Wildcats and Lady Cats. There's another team involved, but we'll find that out from Coach Young or Coach Ross Hicks a little bit later, but that's going on to be taking place on Thursday. So that's everything else, and now Clarkson Paletas is here. Clark, we're as always very glad to have you. And an unusual game, I guess in the spirit of these guys just won't go away.
Right.
You kept hitting Royce City with haymakers, and by George, they just kept getting up off the mat. I had a huge third quarter, took a real big run. They were only down by 8 going into the fourth quarter. Then you run away from them, and by George, they feel like if they had another 5 minutes, they were narrowing things down, got it within 10. So an odd ball game last night.
For sure, and basketball is one of those sports where it's a game of runs, and you just try to weather those runs and limit them and have them if you're trying to make them. And I thought our kids did a very good job of coming right out the gate and establishing tempo and playing together and really building us a lead, especially in that first half. I thought we played really well, and you go into the second half, and all of a sudden you start missing some shots. Your defense isn't as tight. Your kids aren't as focused, and teams like Royce City or any team with dynamic players on it, they make runs. So I'm just glad we were able to weather the storm and keep building up runs back ourselves.
Yeah, great start. I think it was, according to this, 22-7 and then 38-20. And that, that big 18-point pad was very important. As mentioned, about half of it disappeared in that third quarter. When a team gets hot like that, you just have to realize, hey, they're not going to be hot forever.
You hope.
Yeah.
That's the key. As many timeouts as you need to use. I think I burned 2 during that stretch, but you just got to refocus the kids. I thought a couple of times we had some bad closeouts, which led to some easy scoring opportunities. And when some kids get easy scoring opportunities, the rim seems bigger, and all of a sudden shots they usually don't make start going in. So you don't want to play with that scenario too much, because it's hard when a team gets really hot to stop them. And I was proud of our kids for digging back in and finding ways to stop. And I even thought our shooting wasn't very particularly well last night, but I thought we executed in the half court offensively and then executed in transition really well to help make up for some of that.
Yeah, some awfully pretty passes to players, just some beautiful assists. And after that really hot quarter, sure enough, I don't know what there is about going over there and standing around, and then you play a new quarter and you have that little break. I guess it's just like when you call a timeout to try to cool somebody down. But they come out in the fourth quarter, the shots they were making in the third quarter, they were missing early in the fourth quarter, and you outscored them 15-2, and ball game's over at that point.
Yes, and I give credit to our kids. Our kids locked back in, and some of the shots that we were giving them easy in the third quarter, our kids really took back that challenge of making it tough. And over the course of a game, if you keep challenging shots and you keep making them shoot contested shots, odds are hopefully they'll miss. And once again, hats off to our defense. I thought our defense played really well. I thought we turned them over quite a bit. We ran that half-court trap early on in the first half, and I thought we had some success with that, which got us easy scoring opportunities. So it was one of those games that we were proud of.
You had 4 players in double figures. Cameron Kahn had 19, Day had 18, 15 for Lamadrick Johnson, and 10 for Boo Wilkerson.
Awesome. I didn't realize that. That's
a really, when you get that kind of production, 4 players in double figures, that's going to get you close to where you want to be.
It is, and that's the beauty of our team. I know I've said this before, but we have so many dynamic players offensively that usually when one's not going, the other ones can pick them up, and we can score from different parts of the floor. I thought Lamadrick does a wonderful job of driving, creating, scoring opportunities for himself and for others. I guarantee he had close to 10 assists last night. He really did a good job of just picking the defense apart. Grayson, he's averaging about 12 a game, and he necessarily didn't have a great game in shooting the ball last night, but other guys like Boo and Caleb Alexander really came in and filled those roles for him. And I've really been pleased with how Cam's been playing lately. He's really posted up hard, really been a force inside. He's been very consistent for us each and every night. And Day, you know what you're going to get with him. He's always consistent. So that's pleasing to a coach when we can get 4 guys in those double-digit scoring.
With a player like Day, who gets a lot of attention, Cameron has an opportunity to a lot of one-on-one and to really victimize somebody with the moves he has, scoring both hands and all that stuff.
He does. So it was kind of funny last night. So whichever the big kid for Roy City was on, we were going to try to post up the other kid. So the big kid started off guarding Day, so we went to Cam inside, and then they switched back to Cam. So then we went back to Day inside. So that's kind of it's a blessing as a coach to have 2 posts that can really, score it when you throw it in, because, you can kind of create some mismatches there, and not a lot of teams have 2 post defenders. So we're really blessed with that. And our kids and our guards did such a better job of getting the ball to them at the right time and the right spots. And when they do that, those scoring opportunities go up.
All right. Caleb Alexander, you mentioned him. He's got to be one of the best pure shooters on the team.
Yes.
I mean, when you've got a Grayson McClure, it's hard to say that, but he just seemed like he hits 80% or something. He just almost never misses when you put him in there.
The kid's full of confidence. I love the kid. He's a sophomore. He's a young kid trying to figure out a role. And for a kid who hasn't got a ton of playing time this year, when he's gotten it, he's really made the most of it. And that's hard for kids to do, sit there on the bench and, be ready to play each game. And all of a sudden my number gets called, and me to really go in and have an impact. And hats off to him, because he's done it every single time I've called his number. He stays ready in practice. This week he tore it up in practice. So he's one of those kids who's really developing, whose confidence is through the roof, who we're really looking forward to coaching him these next 2 years as well. And he's a blessing to bring off the bench. Couldn't be more proud of him.
Justin Brock earned a starting spot. I assume he must have had a good practice week, and he's just kind of a steadying force out there for you, Coach. He just kind of keeps calm, seem like, under all conditions.
He is. He's such a smart kid. He plays as hard as you could play. He's always going to be in the right spot defensively. He's always he knows where the ball needs to go. And on top of that, just a wonderful kid and a great teammate. So he's just one of those consistent kids. He's a glue guy. He can knock down open threes. He can create for others. He can guard their best player. He's just a real good tool for us. One of those tools, if we didn't have, we wouldn't be near as good. So, he's one of those kids that we're definitely going to miss after the season's gone.
I hesitate to use the term second place because the other day you were talking about it and it looked like you had taken some really bad medicine when you were talking about it. You almost didn't want to talk about it, but we're still in second place. As Mount Pleasant got by Lindale last night, 46-35. But an intriguing situation this week as they have to go into the Lions' Den,
Right.
where we found out, how tough, and we know Greenville plays with a lot of pride in that building, and, they're really going to give them an effort in that gym. And of course, all we can do is take care of business, and we've got Lindale at senior night, and so that'll be a big emotional night for us.
Yes, and Lindale's playing some amazing basketball right now. They locked into the third place seed last night, and Coach Womack just has them playing outstanding. I think they've won all but one game, the second part of district. So we're going to take care of what we can take care of. We're going to try to go out and play our best against Lindale, and let the other chips fall where they fall. And if that's second place, that's just a little bit slighter, different route. But we're still going to head into the playoffs with as much confidence and the same goal set in place. So we're really not worried about it. Our kids kind of seem defeated. I had to remind them we won 13 of the last 15 games. That's really impressive. So it's nothing to hold your heads down. We just got to keep getting better each day, and whatever's in front of us, take care of.
Now, you mentioned us and Mount Pleasant, obviously, up near the top. You mentioned Lindale. Is Texas High got the fourth spot, or how's that shaking out?
So right now, Texas High has the fourth spot. So those are your top four. Greenville and Texas High played last night, and Texas High beat them. But if Royce City technically wins against Texas High and Greenville beats Mount Pleasant, there could be some type of weird tie there. I'm not really sure.
So Greenville still has a shot. That'll get them more juiced up.
I hope so.
As if they need it.
That's how I read it. I could be wrong, but I think they still have a shot if they can beat Mount Pleasant and Royce City can beat Texas High. So, like I said, we're not too worried about them. We're just going to try to take care of what we could take care of, and whichever situation pops up in front of us, we're going to attack with full force and be ready for that moment.
You've got, I believe, 4 seniors. Is that correct? And this group of guys, you've had them all the way through, and they've really set some marks. They've set some records and stuff by being here and doing a lot of different things. And just tell us about some of that.
With Day-Day, Cameron, and Grayson McClure, those are 3 players who've been on varsity since their sophomore year, and they'll go down as the most all-time winningest players in school history. They won a ton of games these last 3 years. Grayson McClure passed Keyston Willis on the all-time three-pointers made in a season.
Wow.
He got 80 where Keyston has 79. Now career-wise, Keyston has him, beat. But Day-Day, he's close to 1,000 points total for his career, which is an amazing feat. Cameron Kahn passed Kane Cody in the all-time charges in a season. Cameron has 33, where Kane took 32 his junior year. And then Day-Day surpassed 600 rebounds in a career, which is another amazing feat. So I have some really talented players who I care about just like they were my own. It's going to be tough to see them go. They've been a part of my life for 6 years, and it's like I see them every single day but Christmas, and some of them even on Christmas Day. So it's going to be a really tough pill for me to swallow when I don't get to coach those guys anymore, because they mean so much to me and mean so much to this program. And I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to coach them as long as I did.
One of the rebounds for Day-Day last night, he's up there and he reaches way out with his hand and grabs that thing and just rips it in, He's a fantastic rebounder.
He is. He's something else, and so undersized, but he just has a magnet for the ball. And all these kids have so many special talents, whether it's leading, making the most out of every situation they're in, whether it's just playing hard. They're just a great group of 4 seniors, and we couldn't be near where we are, without them.
All right, very good, Coach. We appreciate your time on the Coaches Show, and best of luck on senior night and with Lindale and whatever comes up. And as I quoted last night, you said there's more than one path to get where you want to go, and sometimes you have to take the other path. But we've still got a shot in there, and
sure.
So you just go out and take care of business and see how the chips fall.
Yes, sir. That's all we can do.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be back with Alexi Upton and 3 of the Wildcats soccer players right after this break. We're back on Saturday morning Coaches Show. We had a little shift. Alexi Upton, ever the gentleman, has allowed Brittany Tisdale to come on next. Brittany's got a 10 o'clock practice, so she's going to be busy this morning. We appreciate Alexi for doing that. But Coach Tisdale, and it had to be a thrilling win last night for you, Coach, as you're playing for 4th place. You're playing a Lindale team. Each defeated each other twice or once apiece this year, and take care of them over in Emory Rains.
Yes, it was very exciting. I'm just, super proud of this group for going in with the right mindset, because, when we lost to Texas High, they were pretty down about it, because they knew if we won that one, it sealed the deal for us. So when we lost that one, they kind of got down. I said, you know what, it's just the reasons, it happens, and we're going to go and play, and we're going to beat them again. Got it? And they're like, yep. And that's it. And so we just went in with the mindset of, we're winning this one, and we're moving forward. We're getting to that playoff game. And they really did. They really did a good job of doing that.
I guess Lindale, they kind of caught us early in the season when we had some injury situations, and maybe Kinsey just coming back from injury, kind of rusty and all this. And but you figured out how to beat them now. It seemed like we really have their number. I mean, we beat them over on their gym just a couple of games ago, and then a win last night. So we really seem to have them figured out.
Yeah, when we played them the first time, we still had all 3 varsity players out: Serenity, Lewis, Colbria Harrison, and Kinsey Willis. They were all 3 out. So that game, Delaney Miles and Addison Lamb had to come up from the JV and play minutes for us because we got in foul trouble, and we needed them. So they had to come in that first time we played Lindale, play big-time minutes. So it was a rough game for us. And then the second time around, we really, looked at what they did, and defensively, we just really, adjusted and did a great job. We held them to 31, and then we held them to 37 last night. And so defensively, we really just adjusted, and my girls just did a phenomenal job holding them to less than 40 points, which is the goal. And, they just did a great job. And then offensively, we stuck Kinsey right in the middle, and she's such a threat. There's just not much you can do. So you can't. It was hard for them to try to trap, hard for them to try to run what they normally wanted to run, because we put Kinsey right in the middle of it. And, what are you going to do? You got to put somebody on her. So, we really did a good job adjusting and making them have to switch to us.
Well, a terrible injury that Kinsey had just in the Texas High game, and to have her come back, that emotional, she seems to really have an emotional attachment to all the team members, and I'm sure that helped them in that game last night. Just feeling good about things.
She does. That was in the Texas High game, because the first time we played them, that was her first game back, and she barely played at all, and we lost by 1. And so I'm like, come on, she barely played the first time we played them. Let's go, we got it. But it was, they were just so distraught seeing her go down again. We really couldn't recover emotionally from her going down in that game. And so we just kind of had to push through at that point, because ours were taking it so hard. And then to have her back, she is just such a game changer for the team. She really hypes everybody up. So yeah, her just just her ability to motivate the team really is a game changer.
Yeah, Breasia Ivory showed up at the boys' game last night. She went up into the stands and had a curtain call up there, and everybody patting her on the back.
Yeah.
Congratulations! That was a wonderful moment. So
Yeah, no, and I love that kid. I mean, she's one that I'm telling you, like when I tell you basketball, like she plays basketball for her grandma, not for herself. Like it's down at the bottom of her totem pole, and she just gives everything she has. And we had a talk because track's her number one, and it's now their started practice, and she's ready to be out there, and we had to talk about giving everything. And I mean, last night she was like, "Let's go!" Like she was so excited. So she really is like what a crucial ingredient to our team, and so she really did a great job last night. So I'm glad that was a good moment for her because it was a big deal, her playing and giving everything she had last night.
who were some other standouts that you had last night? Kind of really came to the front.
Well, of course, Kinsey and Nala combined, they had 31 of our 46 points.
Wow.
So those two really just showed out offensively. And, of course, Nala did defensively. I put her on their best player. I put her on 12. And once again, she did an outstanding job of holding that girl. And then Hannah really did a good job rebounding. She didn't score a lot, but she prevented 24 from scoring a lot, and she got a lot of rebounds for us on the offense and defensive side, like both sides. So we got a lot of rebounds for her, kick out, and second chances to score because of her.
Also, as I've seen her play, she alters shots. Kids have to shoot different, and she'll just flat block it if you're not careful.
Yeah.
If you get too close, she'll swat it. And she's a real difference maker. That's what the big girls inside do. They make that lane kind of their territory and off limits.
Yeah, and she does a good job of kind of presenting like, hey, this is my area. She's a big presence in the lane. So she got kind of down for a little bit. They started calling some fouls on her like late in the game. She had been doing the same stuff, and then they started calling fouls on her, and she was kind of like, what, and all this. And I was like, you just play. You're doing a great job. Like, you can't let the crowd and the refs get to you. You just keep playing. And she did. She had a moment where she was kind of like, what am I doing wrong? And I'm like, nothing, just keep playing. And she did, and then we finished, and so it was good.
And we've talked before, but Kate Womack does so much. When she was on the show, I kind of called her the Swiss Army knife. She, whatever you need, she's there for you. Whether you need guard, forward, rebounding, bring the ball down, she just pitches in.
Yeah, she plays it all, and last night she played with the flu, so.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was a big deal, but it's her senior year, and she wants it bad. She wants to win, and so her wanting to win and her passion for it is a difference maker on the team. And so of course I'm not going to tell a senior that this is your last year. It could be your last game. You're not going to play. And so I did make her stay home from practice Thursday, but she said, I'm on antibiotics and I'm going to play. I said, that's fine. So she did with the flu, and I guarantee you, Lindell didn't know that she had the flu. You couldn't tell. So.
Yeah. And some people may not have heard the news. With the win, you get the fourth spot. It'll be playing Jacksonville. It'll be Monday at 7:30, and it'll be at Tyler Junior College.
We actually switched it to 6:30. We were going to have
6:30,
a
okay.
double header, but now we're not. We're the only game at 6:30.
At 6:30, I'll say. So an earlier start, 6:30 the start time now at the gym over there that we're quite familiar with at Tyler Junior College. And Jacksonville, I think everybody's back on their team. I don't think they had a senior against us last year. So you ought to know a lot about them already.
Yeah. They have those two girls who last year were being talked about being recruited by D1. So I'm just, I know they're going to be even better. Obviously, they came in second last year. We came in third, and so this year we're coming in first and fourth. So I know they're even better. I think we can do some things to give us a chance. So that we're going to work on today in practice and give us our best chance to beat them.
What do you remember about that game that they did or that they were good at? Or
They have those two guards that are so good, but the one the smaller one, we've really gotten her head, and so we kind of shut her down, and the other one kind of stepped up, and she really played well. But they can do that one, the taller one. She can do just about anything. I know I've heard Baylor being thrown around with this kid, so we're really going to focus on making the other ones beat us and not getting beat by two players. So that's really going to be our focus, because that girl, she really is just a phenomenal player. Got to give her credit. She is phenomenal. So we are going to focus on what we can do to shut her down.
unless I've got my wires crossed, there's some good vibrations out of that gym. That's where the volleyball team played, I believe, in By District. When they beat Hallsville I think we were the 4 and they were the 1, and they played with a lot of confidence and got a win in that gym. So maybe there's some good vibes bouncing around.
That'd be good.
Coach, good luck with practice and getting the team ready for Monday night, and again at 6:30.
6:30.
At Tyler Junior College. It will be just one game, right?
One game.
All right, and the Jacksonville Maidens. The guys are, I think, the Indians, but the Maidens of Jacksonville, and so we look forward to that. And I appreciate you being on this morning and talking about your girls. I was so excited for them.
Yeah.
I was very pleased to see. We had David Carrillo there, and he was sending me scores, and so I was glad to get the word and pass it on during the boys' game last night. So best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, and let's take our break, and now we'll have Alexi Upton and his players right after this break. And I believe we're back here on Saturday Morning Coaches Show. We had to expand our set just a little bit. Alexi Upton, head coach for the Wildcats. There's Noe Ponce, his goaltender. Kevin Yanez, who in the middle, and Omar Hernandez, the forward, up top. And so some really key players for you, Coach.
Yeah.
And I think I was kidding you this morning. You might have a few gray hairs poking out. These guys waited till the last minute. I told the basketball coaches you had not one but 2 buzzer beaters, one in regulation and one in overtime, where you almost went to PKs last night.
Yeah, one was a minute 30 in regular time. We kind of just couldn't put anything away. We had chance on chance on chance, and we just struggled to put something away. And then we made it into extra time. Lindell was just gassed. They were running out of options. Their coach tried to convince everybody that it was straight to PKs and not 2-minute overtimes, because they didn't want to run for another 20 minutes with us. And then we got one with a minute and 30 left. Kevin played a through ball to Omar, and Omar finished it off for us. And it was crazy. It was definitely a roller coaster ride of emotions. We had some, I'm not one to hate on refs, because I was a ref for 9 years when I was younger, but we had some very poor officiating, and it was just madness. It was a game of madness. I got a yellow card. Coach Mejia got a yellow card.
Oh my.
We had 7 yellow cards as a team.
Ooh.
So it was just a weird game, but our group is really resilient. They fought really hard, and they redeemed themselves, and they did really good.
Wow, those yellow cards can bite you later on. As you get 2, is that when you get in trouble? Or?
Kevin's close. Kevin's got 4, so he needs to be smart, and he might have to sit eventually. But other than that, we're good collectively as a group. 2 or 3s here and there, but we're fine. When they get 5, they have to sit.
I see. So they accumulate.
Yeah, they accumulate
like traffic tickets.
Yeah, they accumulate throughout the year. So he's at 4 right now, so he needs to be smart.
I would think the really scary one was in regulation, because you played 80 minutes almost, over 75 minutes. You've had a ton of shots on goal. They just won't go in the net. And you got to think, this is just going to be a 1-0, and I'm going to be beating myself up because we had a million chances and didn't put it in the net.
Yeah, that was what was scary. It was about 3 minutes left on the clock, and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, this is going to take away, and we were going to have nothing to show for this. Because we played really, really well. We had a ton of chances. We had a ton of opportunities. And I thought to myself, I was like, wow, I can't believe we're going to have nothing to show from this game. You know, and then we just kind of, you know, we sent a ball into the mix. It was chaos, and it popped out, and Alejandro Diosdado just headed it towards goal, and you know, I think it may have hit a person or two, and it doesn't really matter how it happens. It went in the back of the net, and we were excited. We were jacked up, and you know, I think in that moment our kids knew that, all right, now we got him, you know, because we just needed that one. And once we got that one, we were like, okay, we got him. We got the chance to beat him. So.
All right, well, let's meet these fellows a little bit. Some of them we've had on before, but always glad to have them back. Here's Noe Ponce. We talked about him a lot during football season. Great punter. Well, I don't want to start talking about all he does because that would take up the rest of the time here. But great in goal, just like he was last year. And Noe is the keeper. And Noe, tell us about the defense this year and how you think the defense is coming along for the Wildcats.
We have a solid defense this year. Still kind of getting used to running the formation coach has for us, but we're getting there to the point where we're starting to get more chemistry, get more solid, and become better defense for our team.
It requires a lot of coordination between you and the guys right in front of you, and I know you communicate with them. They probably communicate with you. There's a lot of that going on.
Yes, sir. There's a lot of communicating going on between me and the defense just to make sure everything goes well.
Are you kind of directing traffic out there, kind of maneuvering them around a little bit to make sure or maybe if somebody's really giving you a hard time on the edge or something?
Yes, sir. I'm always telling them what's happening behind them when they're not looking, and just letting them know, you know, what's a threat to us.
You're real healthy this year. I know last year you struggled with a lot of nicks and aches and pains and stuff. You feeling good this year?
Yes, sir. I feel great this year, this season.
What's the key to being a good keeper, you think?
Just knowing the game, you know, just like knowing what to do and, you know, helping your team out to be a good team, you know.
What are you thinking when there are guys lined up for a PK on you?
It's scary. It's scary.
Is it just a matter of diving one way or the other and hope you guess right?
Yeah, it's the matter of diving one way or the other. You know, it's a 50-50 chance of getting the ball.
Can you tell sometime, do they kind of give themselves away?
Yeah, they kind of give it
away. They may not even know it.
Yeah, they kind of give it away with their eyes, where they look. Usually, sometimes they tell where they're going to go.
All right. So you must, I mean, Coach Upton brags on the defense all the time. You guys have got to be very happy at where you are as far as allowing goals this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's always bragging about us, you know, trying to always stay together, you know, not spread out too much because it'll expose us from there. Not try to have too many goals this season, hopefully.
Are you guys a close group? You a
Yeah.
close team?
Yeah, we're a close group this year, and we just keep on getting closer every time. You know, we talk to each other, let everybody know what's what.
All right, good senior leadership, huh, Coach?
Yeah, we had two buzzer beaters, and I think arguably the greatest moment. Lindell's coach, Jason Lawless, came up to us after the game, and came up to him after the game and said, "Hey, that was a heck of a save with 3 minutes left." With about 3.5 minutes left, you know, they somehow just played a ball over the top and beat us all, and it was just Noe and one guy, and Noe just throws his body. I don't even know, it hit his thigh or his belly, or I don't even know what it hit, but I mean, he just made an incredible save with 3 minutes left. I mean, we were done and dusted. If that goes in, it's 2-0, we're done. And I mean, he kept us in the game, and their coach comes straight to Noe after the game and was like, "Hey, that was a heck of a save, man. That was incredible." Yeah. So, you know, Noe's job as a keeper is just keep us in the game. You know, there's going to be moments where we're frustrated and we can't score and we're struggling, and you know, he's going to be called on, you know, anywhere from 0 to 5 times a game to, you know, just keep us in it. You know, just make a save and keep us in it. And, you know, he's been doing a great job of that so far.
All right. Kevin, Yanez, everybody likes to score, and I know you do too, but you are like the assist king. That's what the coach calls you. Do you like that role? Do you like assist stuff?
Well, yeah. Well, when you play as a midfielder, goal scoring is not your main point. Main point is distribute the game, play the ball, move the ball around from one side to the other. Don't try and lose the ball. Main point, and well, us try and get as many goal scoring opportunities to our forwards.
Those guys on top, you kind of get a feel for what they like to do and everything as you pass the ball down the field to them?
Well, yeah, as we play games, I get to know him more and more. Well, me and Omar have been for 3 years now, varsity, and well, yeah, we have pretty good connection. So maybe I don't know, maybe that's a key why we have so many assists and goals each other. So.
Has Omar gotten faster? Is he harder to hit now as he's moving so fast?
I mean, I think I got more used to him than he got faster. So I give him better balls and he, I don't know, maybe that's why.
Now, are you a center midfielder? Is that your position?
Yes, sir, center mid.
You like that?
Yeah, it's a position I've been playing most of my whole life. I started off defensive back in the day, but then I started moving up, playing center defensive mid in club, and then for school, I play center attacking mid, which helps me develop more.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always seen that position. You're kind of the transition from the defense to the offense, and that, you know, the ball comes to you, and then you have to transition that ball up the field. That kind of the way it is, or?
Well, yeah, that's the main job of a midfielder, to transition the ball over to our forwards to manage to score goals.
Now, you're a senior, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting some looks from college? They begin to contact you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been going out of state to go to colleges, college visits. A few there in Oklahoma, a few in Arkansas, some nearby also. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of colleges.
What about you, Noah? Either football, punting, or soccer, or
Yeah.
are you getting some interest?
Coach has been helping us, try to get, the best opportunity for us to go to college and try to find a good college that's good for us, for study, for academic opportunity and sports.
Very good. I hope all you guys have a chance to play at the next level. I think that'd be great. And Coach Upton's beginning to have players that other people are interested in. The better the team does, obviously, the more attention you get. And Kevin, how do you feel about this group this year? Kind of a close bunch and everybody pulling together and stuff?
Well, yeah, as the years went by, we started bonding more. And yeah, we're closer this year. We're getting much closer at every practice. We're getting closer and closer.
Feel like this can be a special team this year?
I mean, yeah, we have arguably potential to win district this year. And, I mean, that's always a key goal. Sometimes it can be, but this year it
doesn't get any bigger than Mount Pleasant coming up. That's always, as I said in my story last night, district always goes through Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
You're always going to have to face them. Here's Omar Hernandez. And Omar, you've got to be, what's it like to score the winning goal last night right before PKs?
I don't know. It was just a crazy feeling.
I think he blacked out maybe.
When I heard the ball hit the back net, I was just shook. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just crazy. I'm glad we got the win though.
Have you gotten faster this year? You look faster now.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could tell you something, but you could think something else. So it's not really.
You're getting a lot of goals now.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure how many, Coach, you know.
I think he's on 9. Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
double figures.
Yeah, double figures almost. Yeah.
Yeah, getting close. What's the key to scoring a goal?
You gotta learn how to stay composed in front of the goal, especially because there's times when I mean, there's so much going around, so much going on that you just could easily kick in and miss, So you gotta know how to stay calm. You gotta choose accuracy over power. So know where you're gonna place the ball.
I know you're really appreciative when you get a nice assist from Kevin, right?
Yes,
Put it in that goal.
Yes, sir.
So, What about you? You've been hearing from colleges and stuff?
Yes, sir. I went to a college visit in Oklahoma not too long ago, and it was nice. I got some people looking at me.
All right.
Yes, sir.
And a special group, I mean, this group, they're having a really good season and seem to be just getting better and better.
Yes, sir.
The stat, we've been kicking around 10 games without a loss now.
Yes, sir.
And goes all the way back to early January since you guys last lost, and 6 wins and 4 ties, so that's impressive.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think, Coach?
It's good, man. There's a good group, led by these 3 guys, keeper that keeps us in, and our link, our distributor, and then the guy that finishes it. And he was talking about how just stay composed in front of the goal. I think that's where he's really grown. Last year he had a billion chances, but he just struggled with his composure and struggled to stay calm in those moments. And I think he's done a great job of that this year. I think he's really grown, and I think he's gotten a lot smarter. And he's learned how to take over the game and be calm in the moment. And that's why he's got 9-10 goals. I think collectively as a group we've gotten more composed and calmer. I think that's why we're winning these games, these tight games. We got embarrassed at home last year when we played Lindale. They were a little stronger team, but still, we weren't composed and we weren't smart. And so I think our guys are starting to get smarter and more composed, and that comes with experience. A lot of them are seniors and juniors, so it comes with experience, and I think we have the experience now to go compete and play with anybody.
Yeah, it was, you begin to worry about the season last year, 0-2 at this point.
Yeah.
With 2 home losses.
Yeah. It was,
So really had to regroup, and hats off to these guys and the rest of the team for, turning things around for you.
Yeah, it was a scary time, and that was when we changed our formation. We changed a couple people around in positions, and that was a big moment for us. And so, those moments like that, you either collapse or you learn from it. And they learned from it. They did well, and went on to play Jacksonville, and that was an interesting one. So hopefully we'll get some better results this year. And I think this is the first time in a long time that we can actually compete with Mount Pleasant. So.
All right. Let's take our third internal break. We'll come back and wrap it up with Alexi and his players, and back in a moment. And back here on the Saturday Morning Coaches Show, we've got Alexi Upton, also Noe Ponce, and Kevin Yanez, and Omar Hernandez. We've got all the fellows on with us today. And Coach, I guess Mount Pleasant, as always, kind of the juggernaut. From the time you got here, you were talking about beating them and competing with them.
Yeah, I've known from a long time that they've been really good. When I was a senior in 2013, when I was with Coach, we played them in a Frisco tournament for a medal, for a gold medal. We beat them in PKs, and I've known they've been out here for a long time. They've always been really good. They've always went to the regional tournament or went to state. Something like that. Every year it seems like they're winning a district and going to a regional tournament pretty much. So, they're, like you said, all roads lead through Mount Pleasant going through district. So, I think this is the year where we can go compete with them. I would love a lot of people to come out and support these guys and just really pack the stadium, because I think it's going to be an interesting moment. And I think it could be a history-defining moment for our program. So.
Yeah, for the 30 years or something, they've had a Mayfield coaching over there, right? Either daddy or son.
30 years of that, and and 12 years or 13 years of us being unsuccessful in district. 2006, you quoted, that was the last time we beat them in district.
Yeah.
I know they may have been out of our district once or twice in between those times, but that's a long time to not beat somebody in district play. So, I think this is the moment. We got a lot of experience. We got a lot of great senior leadership. We got a lot of athleticism. We're great on defense, and I think that will result in us being successful.
I think this may be the 15th year that I've covered Wildcat soccer, and I've never seen us beat Mount Pleasant. Maybe to see us tying them, I don't even remember. Probably lost in PKs or something, but it just that's just been the impossible thing, and I didn't really realize that, because I figured, when Andy was here, he bound to have gotten them sometime, but no. And he did in 06. He beat them twice in district play. But the one time I saw him was in a regional game against Mount Pleasant. We're over in Greenville with a howling wind. It was about 35 miles an hour. So one half you're going to spin with the wind in your face, and the other half with the wind to your back. And they beat us over there, and they move on. And And that was the end of the first run that I saw the Wildcats make back in '06. That was an incredible Andy Holt team. He had several others that I think one you guys ended over at Poteet with Tony Bravo and those dudes. But
That was.
so let's, Noe, what do you remember about Mount Pleasant? You probably know some of those guys over there.
Yeah, I knew a couple of them because I've seen them since probably my sophomore, freshman year. Always been a solid team. Always see us losing to them, but yeah, they're a good team, and we just plan to hope and plan and hope that we possibly come out with the win this Tuesday. Hopefully.
All right. Kevin, what about you? What do you remember about Mount Pleasant?
Well, I mean, they've always been a team that can possess the ball, move the ball around, so it's really going to come up to who can be the better team, who can play better soccer.
Omar, what about you with Mount Pleasant?
Well,
They play tough defense?
yeah, they're pretty strong in the back. I think last year they were really good in the back. I think they lost a couple of seniors, so they might be a little weaker. But MP's always been a really good team. They know how to work. They know how to keep the ball really good. But I think Tuesday night we can finally make history.
Well, all things, Coach, come to an end, so
Yeah.
one of these days we're going to get them.
Yeah, all things come to an end, and it's funny you said about, runs and playoff runs. I had a big deja vu because I was at Lindo last night, and I hadn't been to Lindo in 8 years. I hadn't been to Lindo in 8 years, and that was when we, beat Tony Bravo when I was at Poteet and beat Sulphur Springs, and I was like stepping on the field, and I was just getting some serious deja vu. I was like, God, man, I felt like a player again. And so that was kind of cool. It was a cool moment. I was messing around with our JV and just joking around about stuff, but it was a good moment, and that's fun to experience. It's fun to experience those moments, and that's what I want for my kids. I want them to experience those moments. I want them to go on playoff runs because it's fun. Your community starts getting behind you. I mean, we had Chick-fil-A writing on their signs at Poteet. The community gets behind you, people get behind you, and it's fun. It's fun to win games. It's fun to go far. So, I think this is a group that can do that, and I'm very excited to see it happen. So.
One of those playoff games that we had, it was with Tony Bravo and that group, and I remember them winning. And as we were getting in, loading the equipment in the car, the team bus came by, and the whole team was singing. They were just having the time of their life.
Yeah.
They were really enjoying that victory.
We've started I don't know why, but we started a new thing where we have some dance-off circles in the middle of after every game. It's 3 in a row now, so I don't know if that's a thing that we're gonna do every game, but it's pretty funny. They have a good time. They're just
These guys got good moves.
They're playing. Them and Christian Ramirez, one of our other seniors, is a goofy guy that has a bunch of dance moves, but. It's a good moment, and that's what you really like to see as a coach. You really like to see your kids just have fun and enjoy themselves. They get wins because they work so hard, and then they're great about it. They go enjoy it, and they go have fun, and that's what it's about at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, it's fun to watch all that just joy,
Yeah.
after a big win. So.
Yeah, it really shows that our kids, love the sport and they love to play and they love the people they're playing with. I think that's what's really great. When they all have fun at the end of the game, it shows that it's a family, it's a brotherhood, and that they all just love playing soccer.
And you seem to have them positioned and well coached up and everything for what could be a very special year with this group.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I mean, that's the goal. And when I first got here 2 years ago, that was the plan. Coach them up. Maybe the first year, we kind of just lick our wounds and kind of just grow and build and get smarter. But then the second year was all about hey, now we're ready. Let's go to the biggest tournaments and go compete there, and let's go to the biggest games and let's compete with them. We played West Mesquites and Lovejoys and their top 10s. We went to Frisco tournament, and that was a massive tournament with tons of state champion teams. And then we always have Mount Pleasant in our district. And they've done their fair share of winning state championships and going to regional tournaments. So, we're battle tested, and I think we're ready to, finally go be great.
All right, very good. Alexi Upton, Noe Ponce, Kevin Yanez, and Omar Hernandez. We appreciate all you guys for coming in, and Coach, you as always, and best of luck with this season. That's been great so far.
Yes, sir, Don. We're gonna give it a go. Tuesday will be interesting, so we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this Saturday morning coaches show. We appreciate everybody tuning in this morning, and so long, everybody.